Oh my goodness. Okay, I think testing 1 2. I guess as far as we're trying some things out here today, folks. Anywho, one of the things we were able to accomplish in this off stream, I guess as far as going back and forth, I guess as far as just to kind of remove any headache, I guess as far as dealing with the stream setup stuff, we did finally acquire ourselves, I guess as far as a Aston Martin DBX from a barn. It was pretty epic too, I guess as far as when I did several different barn, did the round robin as far as the barn salvage auctions and such, and I don't remember how many round robins of that I did, I guess as far as finally went into a barn, I guess as far as it was right there by the door. It was one of the first cars, just like, okay, I'm gonna stop messing with you, and so we did get our DBX, I guess as far as finally, this is one of them, one of the cars that we were looking to get and be able to fix that up and work on, so that is going to be the name of the game for today, at least, for starters. It's only got 25,000 miles on it. I'm assuming this is probably going to be in pretty good shape. I haven't taken a look at it yet, I guess as far as I just bought it, it's just like we found it, we're going with it. So, can already sell it, I guess as far as it stands, so I'm pretty confident, I guess as far as this will be a good barn buy. So one of the first things we're going to do is obviously get this, get it washed. Twice. Oh my god, this thing is in really nice shape. Oh my goodness. Alright, we're going to do the interior. Okay, we're not that much more better off, I guess, as far as after washing it and detailing the interior. So we got one rim that's iffy. This door, what's going on with that, dude? It's kind of faded out there. We're going to get this thing fixed up. We'll get her fixed up. Let's get her over back on the lift day. Let's see, what condition is the frame in? So our inventory is clear. Yes, it is. We're good to go, I guess, as far as to get this worked on. So the frame, not in terrible shape. In fact, it's in really good shape. I might leave that alone. I guess for now, we're going to fix up some body panels though. So this DBX, I guess, as far as supposedly does have the same engine as the DBS, from what I do understand. And this is what we're going to find out as we work on this. So yeah, this is the same engine, only it is the all-wheel drive DBX as opposed to the DBS. I'm not sure if a lot of the parts are interchangeable. We'll kind of compare that. In fact, what I might do, we can bring our DBS out. I'm gonna put this guy away in the garage for now. Yep, we'll pull him out, move to the garage. That should put that on that lift B. There we go. So this should be the same engine, or maybe it was the Vantage. Yeah, this is the V12. My bad. So I think it's the Vantage. I'm gonna put this one back. All right. So if we pull the Vantage out, this one should have. Yes, so it's the 177 twin turbo rear wheel drive Vantage. So I think that's the same block, at least anyway. 177 twin turbo all wheel drive DBX. So it's relatively the same engine in the Vantage as that twin turbo, I guess, as far as, so yeah, we'll make some comparisons, I guess, as far as we break this down. Pretty cool looking crossover, kind of a crossover vehicle. Not that we don't have other four-door vehicles. We do have our Impala SS. Yeah, the modern one of those. A lot of trunk space in there. Holy smokes. Trying to get all the body panels off of this that we can fix. All right, let's go fix up what we can. Holy crap, that's a lot of panels I didn't realize. Oh, okay, so there was a fender. I was like, okay, so this fender was missing? Okay, so we're missing that fender. So I must have forgot to take this one out. Okay, so let's get that fixed. Fix it up all the way. There we go. That seemed to be the only body panel that was missing on it. I think the rear end here, I guess, as far as definitely reminds me of a Dodge Journey. Pretty cool looking cars, and they perform pretty well too. So we need this fender. So I'm gonna leave this mirror off. We're gonna paint that new fender. We had to get one new fender, which is this guy. It's kind of just glossy primer. So we want this. All right, just the one part we needed to paint. All the other parts we were able to fix up. Kind of cool how they chrome piece, I guess, as far as between the door and that fender. I'm gonna leave the license plate off there for now. Fixed up the mirrors. Tail lights. We're gonna need to get two new ones of those. So one left and one right. All right, so how are we doing on the body now? So it should be like 90%. Hold on a second. I think I forgot one window. Hold on. Let's see where we're at. We are 89. That's not terrible. We're 1% below what we should have, I guess, as far as with the license plates off. So that's better. I'll take that. So interior. Let's see. Pretty nice interior. Now this is one of those types of cars where you can't really change the color of the interior, so it is what it is. So regardless of what color you paint the vehicle, it's going to be this color all the time. That's something that I'm kind of hoping. Now, we've seen what the C1 Corvette can do, I guess, as far as being able to put different colored interiors into it based on that design. That's a pretty cool way to go about it. I kind of like it. So it's got the recessed type of door handles on that too. That's kind of wild. Gives it that flush look, I guess, as far as along the sides. I think the Vantage has got that too. Yeah, nice. So we kind of pulled this guy out, I guess, as far as just to make some comparisons between more of a coupe and then our four-door, I guess, as far as like that. So that's kind of like the... So if you look at the rear end, there's a lot of similarities, I guess, as far as with the spoiler. As far as that design, I guess, as far as between the Vantage and the DBX. It's got the same kind of contour, I guess, as far as across the roof line. You know, with the exception that this has 2 more doors. Pretty cool. All right, so anyway, let's do some interior. That one's still green. I might keep that. Can't forget about the steering wheel. Yeah, that red interior in this thing is really loud. So I got these and I didn't really need to, I guess, but we already bought them, so sell those. We'll probably sell these plates, because we'll probably put our own on. And we're going to also sell these seats. We should be all in the green for the interior now. Yep, interior is good to go. We'll leave it at that. So the bench seat, I guess, as far as wasn't 100%, that's the other thing. So other than the other parts, I guess, as far as under the undercarriage, let's work on that. That'll be our next thing we work on here. We definitely want to fix up these rims. Pick those up a little bit. So it is an all-wheel drive, as we come to find. So there's a transfer case, transfer power to the front wheel. So it is an all-wheel drive. Pretty cool. So let's stay focused on here on the rear end here for now. Oh, that's a totally different type of rear shock. So it's a rear air suspension shock. That's definitely new. We haven't had those types of shocks, as far as out of all the cars we worked on. So this is definitely new. Look at the size of this muffler too. It's bigger than the dang fuel tank. Pretty cool design, I guess, as far as to the exhaust. It's got a Y pipe. It's all one piece. All right, so we got all the rear end out. Let's get this over, see what we can get fixed up here. Oh, hold on. These things are actually repairable. I just noticed that. So the rear shocks that we've worked with, I guess, as far as that are not these air ones, are not repairable usually. These are repairable. That's definitely something very new. Okay. So for this setup, we should have our standard muffler we'll have to replace. Yeah, let's go to the store. We need to go back to this store and get some rubber bushings. And we'll see what we got for brake rotors that are machinable. Multiple. Okay, so we should have the majority of the parts to put this rear end back together. Okay, so that goes there. Get this arm in. This is all refurbished. Now, I'm sure we'll probably come across some parts that I missed here that are broke. We'll have to replace. Go ahead and get ourselves a new fuel pump. We do have one in the warehouse. Let's go check that out in the warehouse. We did get the fuel pump. Now, let's go ahead and get this middle muffler, at least anyway, purchased. Okay, so I think we got most of the rear end done. We're going to get these tires taken apart and see how those are doing. So only one rim was good. Oh, okay, so we're going to have to get a new rim. All right, let's get some tires. So how is our tires looking? There we go. 2 new rear tires. Let's get these put on our rims. I didn't put the fuel pump in. Oh, we missed this arm. Those small rubber bushings probably go with that, actually. So, which side did I miss? I probably missed it on this side. Where are we at now? So we got the rear end pretty much done. Let's go ahead and drain the oil, and we'll get this engine out. Let's move this out of the way. So what else we got to dismantle here to get this engine out of here? We got to take out these puppies. Oh, that's all one piece. Okay. That down pipe, it gets as far as all one piece. It gets as far as for that. We need to undo this shaft. I was like confused there for a second there. It's like, why is it making me take that off? I mean, it's just like having to take the drive shaft off, I guess, as far as to get the gearbox out of there. So yeah, I got a little bit ahead of myself, I guess, as far as putting that back in. Okay, there we go. So that should be enough to get that engine yeeted out. Oh, you know what? There might be. So we gotta take this intake out. That's the same as the Vantage. Yeah, it does have that this same cover, I guess, as far as, so you have to take this off. This air ducts too, I guess, as far as you gotta get all that off there to be able to get the engine pulled. This one doesn't have the air duct, just that one other. Yank her out. There we go. Nice. She's out of there. Okay, so we'll have some things to do here in the engine bay. So we got fuse box. We got 2 fuse boxes. We got one there, and there's one down here too. Where did the other one go? Right there. So we got 2 fuse boxes, I guess, as far as for that. No module. Yeah, we'll work on that bottom end in the front, I guess, as far as there momentarily. Let's fix up. So we were able to fix up this air duct too. Okay, so it does have an air duct on that. So let me look at this Vantage again. So this one has this air duct. Oh, that's an engine cover. So it has these two air ducts, so someone's only got the one air duct on the DBX. Interesting. Neat. All right, let's get this pump back in here. I have to get a new module because it was missing a module. Warehouse, I'm gonna leave those in there for now. We'll just buy a new one. Buy a new servo. Slap that in right away. Do some preliminary work here in the engine bay. ECU Type B. I might have one of those actually. I do. Nice. So we got a standard one right there. Okay, ECU. We got a battery. We got two of them in the warehouse. Let's put that in. Well, it's a recharge battery anyway. So let's fix up these bases. There we go. So we got the majority of the engine bay work done. We still got to work on the bottom end. We'll get that. All right, let's get this engine on the stand. Let's fix this engine up. It's been a while since we've actually worked on the Vantage engine. So there should be some similarities to this engine build in comparison to the Vantage. We got two belt tensioners on this thing. We had one up over here and one down here. So they call these valve, I forgot what we said, they're valve limiters? Something valve limiters, I think. If I remember right. So not ignition coils. It's basically just controlling how the valves work. Oh, so here's the coils, okay. Machine, now we can get that cover up. There we go. Holy bolts. You got bolts for days on these heads. Man, holy bolts on this flywheel. There's a lot of interlocking. So it's got this notch out, I guess, as far as for... That's kind of wild. Alright, so we still got some stuff here to get on the front end. Yeah, look at these crank bearings. That's crazy. So the engine block should be in good shape. Cool, that is repairable. Let's go get these all fixed up now. We'll get those brand new. Okay, let's get this back on the stand. There we go. There's our refurbished engine block. So we got to get new ones of these. These are not repairable. You're going to need these fuel pumps, high pressure injection fuel pumps. So we got these cam gears. We'll get 4 new cam gears. Okay, so what are we missing here? So missing this cam gear. Looks like we need 4 new ones of those. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna miss one of these shoes. I can already tell I'm gonna miss one of those shoes. So we need this shoe. Yeah, I would definitely not want to work on this engine IRL if this is the way it is actually designed. This is, you gotta get yourself all up into the nooks and crannies. Oil pump. That was not repairable, so we gotta get a new oil pump. Interesting, okay. So we got pulley. Very Pacific on this engine. So there's a crank pulley. Let's button up the bottom end while we got it turned this way. Put these massive crank bearings in. That term of being a 4-bolt main, this is what they're talking about. Having 4 bolts, I guess, as far as on each main bearing. That oil pan is no bueno. Let's get a new oil pan. That's very proprietary in design too. Man, so many bolts on this engine build. I think this is what we deemed. I don't remember if it was this one or if it was one of the Mercedes engine builds. We called it a Volkswagen. So many bolts. She's getting there. Alright, we got our crankshaft seal. That is not happy. Let's get a new one of those. Okay. I think this is pretty much done. I guess that's an open air design, I guess, as far as on the filters. Let me double check on the Vantage here. No, it does have a cover that goes on there. It should be. So how come that's not going on? Hold on. Probably got to put the coils and all that in there first. Yeah, that's probably why. I knew that. Yeah, this is where we came to find it was super duper hard. So obviously you got to put all this stuff in here before you can put the engine cover on. That makes sense. Now we get to put the cover on. Cool. And I think that is the build. That is all done. Look at the orientation of this this oil filter, I guess, as far as that's crazy. So it's not straight up and down. It's not completely sideways. It's on an angle. It's definitely very unique, I guess, as far as for this engine build. We'll take a look on our front end, and we'll get the subframe, I guess, as far as fixed up. Get this all the way up here. So we got a strut assembly on this one here. Well, it's not even really a strut assembly. It's an air system, so we don't even have any strut assembly like the spring and the cap and all that stuff. It's just that air shock. Hence why we got the air compressor, I guess, as far as on the engine itself. Makes sense. Good deal. Alright, let's get that over to the bench and get those fixed. But it's kind of amazing how much time that it actually takes to refurbish a car from start to finish. Alright, we got those parts fixed. Let me see what we're going to need here. We got run rotor we can fix. Machine that. We're going to need some new pads, bearings, Now, because we got all-wheel drive, I guess as far as on this one here, we don't need the caps, just the bearings. Okay, and we're gonna need some tie rods and all that stuff too. So I think so we only need 4 rubber bushings for this. Yeah, so a little bit unique setup here in the front of this DBX. Yeah, so because it's got the air shocks on it, we only need 4 rubber bushings just for that subframe. Oh, it does have the double wishbone. Okay, so I take that back. So we are gonna need 8 more rubber bushings. Okay, so let's go to the store and get 8 more rubber bushings. Okay, so the air shock was, one of them was repairable. So drive axle, whoop, there we go. That was gives us all the all-wheel drive. Hey, did we, I don't think we dealt with the tires on this front end yet. Nope, right. Gotta keep them separated. Yeah, she's getting there. Yeah, when I look at it from this angle, I guess as far as in particular, it definitely reminds me of a Dodge Journey. Tell me I'm wrong. All right, let's go get these rims fixed up. Just the rear ones are pretty bad. Go to the tire store. There we go. Boop. Nice, let's get those on our rims. You know, if I didn't know any better, if someone didn't say, or if I didn't, you know, as far as working on it, that it was an Aston Martin DBX, when I initially see that, I guess as far as I would see Dodge Journey. Anyway, let's get these balanced. So these are balanced. Let's get these on here. So it's always, you know, with these rim designs from manufacturer, from one manufacturer to another, it's always a matter of trying to get a decent amount of airflow, but also not look gaudy. It's always a delicate balance. So you can see the design of the Vantage, for example, in comparison to the DBX. This is a pretty cool design too. So it has like a star pattern, but it's not like just simple fins, I guess, as far as they come out there. It actually has some abstractness, I guess, as far as to it. You know, they actually added some flair to it, much the same on this one. Pretty cool. I dig it. So they did even make a unique, I guess, as far as rendition of a rim for the DBX in comparison to the Vantage. Yeah, just to give it some its own uniqueness, even though same brand. All right, so we got that on there. Let's get this back down, and we need to get some fluids into it. We got a couple other things I think in the engine bay, I guess, as far as we need to get the engine back in there, that's for sure. So we got all that fixed in the front end. Take this off. We're gonna get this into the engine. Get it in. So let's install 100% green build. Out of the way, she's in there. You look good. Let's go button up the bottom end. Let's get our gearbox in. So many bolts. Yeah, we pointed this out, I guess, as far as how many bolts this thing has on this thing, and I think they're quite honestly trying to eliminate any possible vibration that there might be from everything going on, I guess, as far as the steel here. I kind of like the way they routed all the exhaust on this thing. It's going right down the middle, very clean. That's like a true dual exhaust for sure. So let's get some fluids into her. So we need some motor honey in this thing. With that said, we definitely got enough motor honey in there. There we go. That's confirmed. We know it's 100% build. Let's double check this way. So we're 98% on parts. What are we missing there? So the windshield, I guess I didn't do that. That's body. Radiator. I didn't do the radiator, so I gotta do that radiator. Yeah, once we get the engine back in here, that should populate. So yeah, we didn't do anything with the radiator. Shoot, and I already filled that too. Let's strain it back out. I thought I already did that, but I guess not. I know I was a little bit of a scatterbrain. Yep, that definitely needs to be fixed. So that's keeping it from getting to 100%. So this is probably gonna have radiator shroud on it. Yep. All right, let's get those slipped. Plus, we didn't get that engine cover on there, so I think that was contributing to, that one was missing. So this whole thing is missing, so someone ripped that off too from the barn. Just kind of dresses it up at all. That's all it is decoration. So, there we have it. That should be pretty much similar to what we got in the Vantage. Now wait, are we missing the engine cover on this one? Hold on. Bobby dang. So this one doesn't have that cover that goes over the turbos. Interesting. So this one actually has a cover that goes over top of the turbos, as well as, that's cool. A little bit different flavor, I guess, as far as on the DBX in comparison to the Vantage. So if we take this cover off for a second, we can see the similarities of that engine. It just doesn't have that cover on the Vantage. Let's go ahead and cover back on there, and there we have it. Now we gotta put the coolant back in there. Let's put our coolant back in there since we had to fix up that radiator. So we should be 100% on parts. Still at 98, so I guess that's probably just that windshield doing that. Let's get some coolant in here and we'll change out that windshield. Alrighty then, so let's get the hood down. Let's replace this windshield. She's in good shape, but it's not good enough for what we're trying to do. Cool, now we should be 100% on parts. Still 98, what the heck, man? So, did we miss a tensioner? You know what, I did say there was the 2 tensioners. I think we did miss that. We did, so this belt, and now that we're looking at the parts list there, we're seeing that we didn't miss it. That would make it not want to run, that's for sure. There we go. Now we should have everything. Those ducks back on, whack whack. Not those kind of ducks though, I don't think. Alright, now let's see how we did. So if we check our parts, 99. So for some reason we're 1%. Okay, check our parts listing. Oh, I forgot the starter too. I forgot the starter. Cool. And that's a crazy design there, I guess, as far as for that that exhaust for that turbo. There we go. Now we should be, ta-da! Nice. We just missed the starter. Cool, we're in good shape now. Bench seat, I guess, as far as probably causing that not to be 100%. Frame, we did well. I'm gonna leave it that way. And then our body's at 90% now, so we did do that windshield. So that 10% that we're lacking is as far as going to be license plates. Let's get an alignment on this thing before we get it over the dyno. Did all that suspension work on that. So it's kind of like a gunmetal gray, as far as on the body color. I don't know which one you call that. It's kind of an interesting shade of gray. Oh yeah, she's a little bit out of whack, so this one's fine. There we go. Boop, boop. Run straight as an arrow now. Let's get this over to the dyno. See if we get all the base power out of this thing. Should be based on everything we did to it. We didn't miss anything. We should get all that base power. Might get a little noisy in here. Class C 267. I expected that to be a Class B, but we did get all the base horsepower. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's all stock factory power. So we know what we got to do now. I guess as far as now we got our dyno, we got to take this over to strip and have some fun with it. All right, here we are at the drag strip. I'm gonna go ahead and get some quarter-mile runs in there. So we got our test car we get to go up against, non-supercharged, no tuning. I don't think this car's got a prayer against this DBX. So we're gonna try it out. Yeah, this is the one that's got the top that goes counterclockwise. So it's kind of backwards. It's kind of hard to get used to, I guess, as far as that it goes up on the upstroke and not clockwise, I guess, as far as on. Interesting, yeah, I don't think that dude didn't have a chance. What about the Chevy Bel Air? We got a little bit of old school V8 power. It's got some slicks on it. Feels like he's got something to offer against. Runs nice and straight, that's for sure. Very nice. So I'm gonna say high 12s, I guess, as far as on this one all day. No performance parts. We got a Range Rover. This is a game version, I guess, as far as of that Range Rover. I think it's not the DLC. Has an inline 4 dual overhead cam. This engine we have definitely come to find, like in the Street Fighter, on the Civic and such. I guess as far as a very beefy engine, especially if it's got tuning. She bogs right out, I guess, as far as on launch, though. Not that it really hurts it any. Yeah, so we're about 12.8, 12.7 all day. Beat that Range Rover with that inline 4 by a second. So these we know, I guess, as far as when they don't have a significant amount of tuning, they're pretty slow. And winner is, yep, definitely beat that one. Holy smokes, yeah, we're smoking a lot of these cars we're going up against here in practice. What about the old school Dodge Challenger RT? He's got that 446 pack with some slicks, no tuning. Nice, yeah, so pretty much 12.7, 12.8 all day long. Well, that was a good race right there. Look how close that was. I just want to beat it because it's an ugly car. That's a shoebox on wheels. Want to see if we get an electric car as first to compete against. I don't think in the C class we have had those. I'm trying to remember. So no tuning on this guy. It will not surprise me at all if this thing beats us. These things are just crazy fast. Wait for it. There it goes. It's going to be like an 11-second car. There you have it. That's usually the way it goes, I guess, as far as this might be the only one we'll have to worry about. Now, look, granted, keeping in mind this one had no tuning. No tuning. I don't even think it had slicks. Sport tires. Same tires. No tuning. What about the Renault Clio V6? Oh, definitely showed that Clio up. Nice. So we got some supercharged, I guess, as far as old school 2-carb V8. A little bit of tuning too. No, he got us right at the end. He was sticking right with us. That's crazy. 12.7 to a 12.4. So it's that V8, that old school V8 2-carb supercharged. We did have some tuning too. So we met our 2 cars, I guess, as far as it can beat us. The tuning on that engine and the electric. So here's another one. So let's see if this car can beat it with that same engine. A little less tuning though than the C3. Yeah, we got that one, but this one definitely didn't have as much tuning either. So even though it's a different car, didn't have as much tuning as that C3. So we're gonna have to pay particular attention, I guess, as far as to cars that have this engine with a lot of, you know, a decent amount of tuning. We got our standard 2-carb OHV, I guess, as far as Gen 2 Camaro. Yeah, nice. Man, we beat that like well over a second. Now, granted, that one did not have any tuning. Did have the slicks on it, though. They were trying to bring their A game, I guess, as far as that. Not quite enough. 232 on the ranking, too. All right. So, the Fake Viper. Non-supercharged LS. This will be the last one we'll do, and we'll do a competition here, just as far as to see what we can get. Nice. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good. So 2 cars that we know that can beat us potentially would be a pretty well tuned 2-carb supercharged old school V8 and that Roadster as far as the electric cars. So I would imagine probably the Yamaha EV Concept could too. So yeah, we got to watch out for those electric cars. No tuning on this, no performance on our DBX. So let's go back this way. Quarter mile and sign up for the Class C. There's our lineup. Can we make it all the way to the end? I'm feeling pretty good about the fact. Now we're going to take a look at our lineup here. We got a Street Fighter with that engine, no tuning. Feeling pretty good about that one. I'm not seeing any electric cars. I think we're good. Our first race we go up against, we didn't practice against this dude. I think we can get him. Doesn't have all that much tuning on that 1-carb OHV. And we got a Model T. Other than that, dude. Yeah, no electric cars. No electric cars in this run. Alright, we're going to go ahead and run our first race against this old Cutlass Supreme. Whoa, that really bogged out. Come on, baby. I might want to put a performance gearbox on this just because of that. It bogs out on that first gear. I don't like that. I feel like we can get a little bit more out of it if we put a performance gearbox at minimum. I think we might do that. Kind of fine tune on those gears. Alright, first race is in the books. Alrighty then. So next one we get to go against their special. Now the only thing we did on this one, just to clarify, is to move the ABS module from the back to the front. Feeling pretty good about Able to beat that one, yeah, no tuning. Nice. Yeah, we're staying pretty solid, I guess, as far as on our times. Third race, we're going up against a Mitsubishi Lancer. So, pretty good engine, but no tuning. Yeah, if you would have put some tuning to that one there, that would be a pretty cool one, I guess. I think he would have had something for us. Yeah, I think we'll definitely put a performance gearbox on this and fine-tune that first gear. Nice. Okay, third race in the books. This is for all the nuts and bolts. We're going up against that Street Fighter Honda. No tuning. Pretty good engine, I guess, as far as no tuning though. Again, another one of those, I guess, as far as if it would have had a little bit of tuning, I think. Sounds like he's keeping up with us. Oh my god, he did beat us. That's crazy. 12.8 to a 12.6, so yeah, that's actually better than our best time, which is a 12.7. No tuning on that bad boy either. Talk about a sleeper. That thing is a sleeper. Had no tuning to that. That beat us fair and square. That is crazy. I almost feel like if I would have put that performance gearbox in there, we would have had something for that dude. That is a solid, legit race right there. I am a little bit mad. Don't get me wrong, I guess, as far as, but I'm not also at the same time, because those things we've come to find, I guess, as far as are very, very stout cars, even without the tuning. So anyway, we did not make it all the way there. But I think what we're going to do, with that being said, head back to the house here, and we're going to put the performance gearbox in. Let's get this back over to lift A, and we're going to put a performance gearbox in this puppy. Alrighty, she's out of there. Let's go ahead and get gears shower. A little bit of chunk of money, I guess, as far as to get one of those. Let's slap her in. Okay, there we go. Performance gearbox is installed. Let's get this back on the ground. Oh, forgot the starter. Misremembered. I dismembered. There we go. Made good on that. Alright, let's get her back over to the dyno. And let's fine tune on this freshly installed performance gearbox. So if it was 307, let's see if that fine tunes that at all. Let's get her re-dynoed since we did get that. We gotta get her, see if we should be still in the Class C. Give us a little bit more horsepower too. $269 on the Class C. I forget what it was originally. So we did gain 6 more horsepower as far as that performance gearbox. That's cool. Nice. So let's get this over to the surface dryer. But here we go. 101 quarter mile Mitsubishi Lancer RS. A little bit of tuning on that guy. Okay, let's bring it on there, Lancer. So still kind of bogs out. The only other way I can think to adjust that, I guess, as far as is go a little bit higher up on the final drive, and maybe just fine tune all the gears, I guess, as far as to kind of smooth it out. I think we need to get the first gear, I guess, as far as closer to 40 miles an hour instead of 47. That'll just kind of fine tune that a little bit. Yeah, because that bog out, I guess, as far as on the launch, it's nothing good. I don't like it. So with BMW 3 Series, let's try this. Oh, we got a shift. I almost missed a shift. Cool. So we did crack a 12.6. So we definitely improved a little bit, I guess, as far as with that performance gearbox. C1 Fuelie. Same engine. So same engine block, I should say, as far as that M177. So I think this originates either from the BMW or the Mercedes, one of the two, I forget. I think it's Mercedes based on the M signification. Don't quote me on that. Nice. 12.7 again. I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna do some more tweaking on this gearbox. Oh, nice. So V6. Now we've got one of these, I guess, as far as, and we've come to find that that engine, yeah. So basically, this having a little bit of tuning with the slicks on it. And nope. Alright, cool. Nice. We know that engine has a lot of potential in it, because we do have one of those. Ooh, what about the Mustang? Coyote, no tuning. Beat that Coyote. Ow! What about the electric car? There it goes. Set to wait for it. Kicks in the turbo there, even though it doesn't have it. Look at that crap. That's stupid fast. AC Cobra. 2 carb, old school OHV. Oh, that one actually beat us. Holy crap. So yeah, 12.8, not one of our better times. I'm gonna do that one again. I know we can beat that Cobra. I know we can beat that dude. There we go. That's more better. Kind of flip-flopped it there on him. Beautiful. Alright, let's set this back to the house, and we're going to do just a little bit more tweaking on the box. Okay, over at the dyno. Do a little bit more tweaking here. So, I'm going to go... That's crazy, that's got 9 gears. We don't even need all that, I guess, as far as to go on the quarter mile, at least, anyway. Well, we got them there. We got them. So we don't really need a dyno it. Try her out. A little bit shorter on the final drive. Yeah, so depending on if you're going to do more than a quarter mile, like say the half mile, might be a little bit different setup. Ooh, this is a nice matchup between the cheap Grand Cherokee with that supercharged, well, it's the single carb supercharged V8, 299 to 269. So just by the numbers there, this one should potentially beat us. That's a little better. A little bit quicker shift on it. Definitely a little bit more of an improvement. Getting better reaction times too. There we go. 12.6. See if we can get consistently under 12.7. Well, you brought a little bit of tuning this time. Standard V12. Still does kind of bog out a little bit, but it's not as bad. I have to look and see what I did in the Vantage. Gotta see what I did on the Vantage. Yeah, so we're getting consistently. That's the second one we got under 12.7. Okay, what about this dude? Don't even really need the fifth gear, just kind of went in there. Yep, that's our third run under 12.7. Seem to be going in the right direction. So we did beat this one previously. He had a little bit more tuning, I guess, as far as, I think he had like a 1.4. so we got that one beat. That's another run under 12.7. I do feel what I want to do. Let's head back to the house here really quick. And I'm going to see how we did on that Vantage. So let's get this. I'm going to leave this here for a second. Actually, I'm going to have to swap it out with the Vantage. I don't even think that I put... Did we put a performance one on this guy? Did not. That's all stock. Okay, so we got really nothing to go by on that regard. I could probably check it out with the DBS, but that's a little bit different engine build. Yeah. So this DBX, we're kind of flying blind. Also, we want to tweak that. Let's try it that way. Do a 391 gear. Cool. Let's go try that one out. Cool. Yeah, so we didn't really have anything to compare to on the Vantage because that doesn't have any performance gearbox, and that's okay. Let's do this quarter mile. Fuely wants another piece of us. All right, Fuely. Ooh, some really quick shifts. So it still bogs out in that first gear. I'm wondering. Another thing I'm wondering is if we were to put slicks on this thing, which we know what slicks will do, I guess, as far as we put that on a car. Oh, we're getting 12.5. Definitely want. So even though it bogs out, we're still improving on our time. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, let's try it again. So we already beat this dude. He's got his slicks on there. So even though it bogs out, it doesn't matter. Okay, 12.6. Oh, this guy. This big boat with that big engine. $12.5. There we go. So you can definitely get 12.5 once we hit all of our marks there. Good reaction and all that. Ooh, another DBX. So he's got race tires and no tuning. A little bit more rating on it too. So he's got the race tires in comparison to our sport. Got him. 12.6, so yeah, we can get a 12.5 if we really push it, I guess, as far as we get a really good reaction time. Hit all of our shifts. Not too disappointed with it. Not too disappointed with it. So what about the Bolt Sunrise? This is part of the police DLC, I believe. Bolt Sunrise. I did notice too that there was a hot fix, I guess, as far as for the game for the police DLC. It didn't really go into details for what it was for, but I did notice that, I guess, as far as prior to start a stream today. Alright, we'll say 12.6. We can get that 12.5 too. I just like to be able to get it a little bit more consistently. Nice. So the Clio, I'm not going to bother with that one. So the SIR with that engine, same tires. So I think if it had some tuning with some, maybe even some slicks on it. Kind of took it a little bit farther into the red zone. Oh, he did get us. That little rascal. So yeah, we did kind of sleep there a little bit too. So that 12.672, yeah, we did kind of sleep there. I'm gonna do that one again. Definitely hear him keeping up with us. He beat us again. Look at that. We even had a better reaction time. Look at that. We were dead even. 12.631. So if that's that engine, I guess, as far as that we were talking about, that's a good engine. As far as that SIR, no tuning. Same tires, though. I think if he had those race tires on it, he definitely could have smoked us. That's, yeah. Sleeper. That's what you call that. So our test car again with that non-supercharged LS V6. What about this hot rod? So, case in point. He got us right at the end. 12-4. I didn't think he'd beat... I didn't feel like he beat us by that much. I didn't really feel like it by that much. Maybe a 12-5 41, but not that much. Yep, so that engine and that vehicle did have a little bit of tuning too. A little rascal. I feel like I want to get this up to like 2% of tuning. That's what I'm thinking. I can't let that stand. You can't let that in. I know it's got a pretty much a lot of power there, but with the 446 pack we were able to beat. That one we can beat. That we can beat. What about this one? Has no tuning. So the one that had like 2% tuning as far as on that engine, it did beat us. Maybe 2.5. I think he got us. Yep, sure did. 12-5. And that one had no tuning. Sport tires. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do then. We're gonna go back to the house. Okay, so what we're gonna do, let's get this over to, actually we can probably do it right here. So I was thinking possibly fuel related stuff here. So let's do, fuel rails. 3% each. That might be all we need actually. Alrighty then. Cool. Let's get this redone. Let's see what we got here. But we're at a 286 now, up from a 269. Nice, very nice. Okay. That gave us a little bit of extra boost. Let's see what we got now. Beautiful. All right, here we go. Quarter mile. Ooh, that one still wants. Ooh, he added a little bit more tuning, so we got 7% just by putting those fuel rails and the. So yeah, that was 6%. Total on the fuel rails and 1% on the performance gearbox. 286 to a 299. I think that one can still beat us. Not that time. 12-2. So with that additional, yeah, that's nice. I like that. I was just shooting to get at least a consistent 12.5s. That's even better. Ooh, that's a new, this is a new player. 426 Shaker wants a piece of us now. Yeah, we're definitely better than the 12.5. I'm even happy with that. I would have been happy with that, but the fact that we did hit that 12.2, not too shabby. Yep, just try them all. Beautiful, I like it. This is a nice balance as far as with this DBX. This one was beating us. Got him, nice. That's a good race right there. That's what I'm talking about. Yep, we definitely got that edge on this DBX now. So one of our configurations for the Resto Hellcat, got that Hellcat engine into our old school Dodge Charger. Got him. 12-3. Holy smokes. That was a good race there, too. How tight that one was. I like it. I like it a lot. Already beat that dude with that tuning. Okay. This dude. He's still going to get a, better part of 11.5. for it. There he goes. I'm loving the way what we get out of this in this class. This is a nice setup for this deal. Mitsubishi Lancer, no tuning. I'm loving the times on this thing here. So far, I think the only thing that can beat us are the electric cars. So this is the Yamaha EV Concept. There he goes. That's the only car that can beat us in this class. Yeah, we beat that one, I guess, as far as previously. Yeah, we're going against the Mini Cooper. Beautiful. Yeah, I think we got this dialed in pretty nice now. We haven't gone against this one. 289 mid-mount against as far as 289 in the GT40. Love it. A nice little, this is a fun little DBX to rip around. We're already beating that dude. Okay, what about the new school, relatively new school Camaro with that engine? A little bit of tuning. Nice. That was a good race. That's awesome sauce. I don't feel there's anything that can beat us other than those electric cars. This one, I keep getting this one with a 2.3, I guess, as far as on the tuning, so we were able to beat that dude. What about the El Camino? That engine, that little bit of tuning. Beautiful. I feel it only appropriate. We need shooking this down enough. Let's go to the corner mile, Class C. Let's do this one more time. Can we make it all the way to the end? I'm feeling pretty confident we can. So as long as we don't have an electric car, Bolt Sunrise, Mini Cooper, nope. But we have no electric cars to speak of against as far as in this runner. I think we got this made. So our first race we go up against the Mini Cooper. We did race against this in practice. Able to beat it, no problem. Feeling pretty good about that. So I'm going to run it through, I guess, as far as the other races. Nice. We're going to go ahead and run our first race. Got the Mini Cooper in the first race, 12-3. Nice. Okay, second race coming up, going against the Cadillac Coupe, the big boat, no tuning, race tires. I feel like that second gear might be a little too short now. I have to spread out that second gear just a smidgen. A really short shift on that second gear. Sometimes I miss it almost. Second race is good. So we get to go against the Fake Viper. No tuning, sport tires, non-supercharged as well. So nice. It's a nice little hot rod we got here with this DBX. Third race, good. For all the nuts and bolts, we get to go up against the Fuelie. Definitely were able to beat this in practice. Beautiful. Like it. Yeah, this has been a fun little car. I guess it's our vehicle to work on, I guess, as far as this DBX. So there it is on the screen. I guess as far as we did make it all the way to the end. So that was a big yes, I guess, as far as on that. I think we're going to probably wrap this one up here, folks. But stream went very well, I guess, as far as for today. I guess as far as happy to have been able to figure some things out. We need to get this back over to birthday. So yeah, really nice comparison between our Aston Martin DBX as well as our Vantage. Same engine, I guess, as far as in that deal. We got a little bit of cleanup here to do in the off stream. Very much appreciated, folks. I guess as far as for those of you after crazy last week, I guess as far as kind of very sparse, I guess as far as number of streams, I guess as far as for last week. You all have a marvelous rest of your Monday. Definitely hope, I guess, as far as to see you again real soon here, folks. Bye for now.